Before we delve into the mystery of the 3 a.m. phenomenon, kindly press the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated with our engaging content. At the crack of dawn, when the hustle and bustle of the world is yet to commence, there lies an enigmatic period of time. This fleeting moment is more than just a mere tick on the ever-moving clock. It is a profound and mystical experience, famously known as the 3 a.m. phenomenon. Today we are setting sails on a fascinating journey, intending to decode the many layers of this early morning wonder. We aim to dive deep into the intriguing origins of this phenomenon and highlight its profound influence on our spiritual lives. The 3 a.m. phenomenon is not just a timestamp, it's a spiritual passage, a sacred moment when the barrier between the physical world and the divine realm is nearly non-existent. It's a time steeped in ancient history and drenched in spiritual significance, a time when prayers, meditations, and devotions gain a deeper, more profound resonance. Throughout the annals of time, many individuals have reported experiencing a heightened spiritual connection at this hour, underlining a sense of tranquility and clarity that seems to transcend the boundaries of our physical world. But what is it that empowers this particular hour with such strong spiritual potency? Is it a celestial appointment made by the Almighty Himself? Or could there be a more mundane explanation rooted in our biological clock? In our exploration today, we'll meticulously dig into the historical context of the 3 a.m. phenomenon. We will be delving into ancient scriptures, historical records, and scientific studies to trace its origins. We will throw some light on the spiritual significance of this unique hour, exploring the peculiar connection between this time and the divine. We'll also delve deeper into its practical implications by providing insights on how to channel the power of this spiritual moment to elevate your early morning routine. Our research journey is not limited to a single culture or era, but transcends boundaries, knitting together valuable insights from spiritual leaders, scholars, scientists, and everyday early risers who have experienced this phenomenon firsthand. We are embarking on this journey with the intention to provide a comprehensive and insightful exploration of this unique spiritual moment. Our aim is to inspire and encourage you, our dear viewers, to seek out and experience the 3 a.m. phenomenon for yourselves. As we navigate through this intriguing journey, we will attempt to strike a balance between historical facts, anecdotes, spiritual beliefs, and scientific theories. We intend to provide a holistic view of the 3 a.m. phenomenon, offering a perspective that is both enlightening and thought-provoking. Alongside the historical exploration and spiritual significance, we will also delve into the realm of psychology and neuroscience, exploring the effects of the 3 a.m. phenomenon on our mental and emotional well-being. We will also discuss various practices and rituals related to the phenomenon, providing practical tips on how you can incorporate this spiritual moment into your daily routine. In addition to the profound spiritual dimensions, we will also explore the societal perceptions and misconceptions associated with the 3 a.m. phenomenon, shedding light on the mixture of awe, fear, and curiosity that surrounds this enigmatic hour. We hope that our exploration will not only demystify the 3 a.m. phenomenon, but also inspire you to appreciate the mystery and magic of these early morning moments. Stay tuned as we unravel the fascinating history and spiritual significance of the 3 a.m. phenomenon. The 3 a.m. phenomenon, often referred to as the witching hour, has a rich history that transcends epochs, stretching back to the earliest civilizations. This unique concept, imbued with profound spiritual meaning, has been intricately bound with the fabric of Christian spirituality since time immemorial. In the initial stages of Christianity, the devout practiced a ritual known as the vigils. These were nocturnal prayer sessions held in the serene quiet of the early morning hours, creating a spiritual space removed from the distractions of the day. The third hour after midnight, known to us as 3 a.m., was considered a sacred time for these vigils. It was a moment when the world was at its most silent, and it was believed to be an ideal time to commune with the divine, the spiritual realm said to be more accessible during this stillness of the night. The significance of the 3 a.m. phenomenon can also be traced back to the monastic traditions of the Middle Ages. Monks adhering to these traditions would rise at this hour to engage in prayer and meditation, a practice referred to as the night or matins. This was essentially the first of the 7 canonical hours of prayer observed by monastic communities, setting a precedent for the spiritual undertakings of the day. The 3 a.m. phenomenon, over time, began to be associated with key figures in Christian history. St. Paul the Apostle is one such figure. In his second letter written to the Corinthians, St. Paul mentions being caught up to the third heaven, an experience that many scholars believe took place during these early morning hours. The third heaven is often interpreted as a state of supreme spiritual communion, indicative of the profound spiritual potential encapsulated within the 3 a.m. hour. The biblical account of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, according to the Gospel of John, also resonates with the 3 a.m. phenomenon. Mary Magdalene is said to have visited Jesus' tomb while it was still dark, only to find it empty. Although the exact hour is not definitively mentioned, several Christian traditions interpret this as having occurred during the early morning hours, reinforcing the spiritual significance of this specific time. In the modern era, the 3 a.m. phenomenon continues to be embraced by various Christian movements and denominations. The Catholic tradition of the Divine Mercy devotion encourages prayer at the hour of great mercy, often interpreted as 3 a.m. This practice was inspired by the visions experienced by St. Faustina Kowalska, a Polish nun who claimed to have received divine messages advocating prayer at this particular hour. The 3 a.m. phenomenon also has significance within the Protestant tradition. The acclaimed evangelist Billy Graham regularly spoke of the spiritual potency found in the early morning hours. He was of the belief that this was a time when God's presence could be deeply felt, a sentiment that is shared by many Christians around the globe. However, the historical context of the 3 a.m. phenomenon is not restricted to Christianity. Other spiritual traditions and cultures around the world have also recognized the spiritual potential that this hour holds. In Hinduism, the period before dawn, known as the Brahma Muhurta, is believed to be especially auspicious for meditation and spiritual. Similarly, in Islam, the last third of the night before the dawn prayer, Fajr, is regarded as a time of divine closeness and acceptance of prayer. The 3 a.m. phenomenon has been woven into the tapestry of Christian spirituality throughout history. From the early Christian vigils to the monastic practices of the Middle Ages, from the biblical accounts of key events to present devotional practices, the significance of this hour is deeply anchored in spiritual tradition. This historical perspective offers us a deeper understanding of the 3 a.m. phenomenon. It underlines the enduring belief in the spiritual potency of these early morning hours, a belief that surpasses cultural and religious boundaries. It emphasizes our unending search for divine communion, a search that finds expression in the tranquil solitude of the early morning. The historical context of the 3 a.m. phenomenon serves as a reminder of the spiritual heritage that we are a part of. It invites us to delve into the profound spiritual potential of this hour, to seek divine communion in the calmness of the early morning, and to carry forward the legacy of centuries of spiritual seekers. Understanding the historical context of the 3 a.m. phenomenon allows us to appreciate its spiritual significance. It welcomes us to engage more deeply with this long-standing tradition, encouraging us to explore its potential in our own spiritual journeys. As we immerse ourselves in the silence of the early morning, we join a long lineage of spiritual seekers who have discovered in this quiet hour a space for divine communion and spiritual renewal. The spiritual significance of the 3 a.m. phenomenon is deeply rooted in Christian beliefs and practices. Have you ever up abruptly in the middle of the night and noticed the time? Was it specifically around 3 a.m.? This strange yet intriguing phenomenon is not only significant in terms of the physical world, but holds a special place in spiritual beliefs as well. This particular time, often known as the 3 a.m. phenomenon, is a subject of fascination in various cultures and religions, more specifically in the realm of Christianity, where it is considered to have a profound spiritual importance. The 3 a.m. phenomenon in Christian tradition is viewed as a sacred time for prayer and devotion. It is believed that the early morning hours, precisely 3 in the morning, possess a unique spiritual significance. This period is frequently referred to as the fourth watch or vigils in liturgical terminology, terms that have their origins in ancient Roman practices. The Romans divided the night into 4 parts for the purpose of maintaining military watches, and the fourth watch fell into the time frame from 3 to 6 in the morning. Now you might wonder, why is this particular time spiritually significant? The answer to this lies in the pages of the Holy Bible itself. The Bible recounts numerous instances of divine intervention and spiritual awakening taking place during this early morning period. It is said that the fourth watch of the night holds a special divine connection to many miraculous events as recorded in the Bible. It is in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, where we find the famous narrative of Jesus walking on water to reach his disciples amidst a raging storm on the Sea of Galilee. This miraculous event is recorded as having taken place during the fourth watch of the night. This interaction between Jesus and his disciples not just symbolizes divine intervention, but also serves to highlight the spiritual significance of the early morning hours. The Bible also mentions that Jesus often chose to rise very early in the morning while it was still dark to pray in solitude. This habitual practice of Jesus emphasizes the importance of dedicating the early morning hours to prayer and spiritual contemplation. However, the spiritual significance of the 3 a.m. phenomenon extends beyond the anecdotes and tales within the Bible. It is deeply intertwined with the practices and teachings of many Christian denominations and spiritual leaders. Consider, for instance, St. Benedict, the patron saint of Europe and students. In his rule for monasteries, St. Benedict prescribed the observance of 7 canonical hours of prayer. The first of these, known as vigils or nocturnes, was to be observed during the final part of the night, aligning with the 3 a.m. phenomenon. This practice has been followed by monks and nuns throughout centuries, marking the early morning hours as a sacred time for prayer and contemplation. In the modern Christian world, the 3 a.m. phenomenon has been interpreted as an invitation from the divine to enter into a deeper relationship with God. It is believed that the stillness and quiet of the early morning hours provide an ideal setting for prayer, meditation, and spiritual reflection. It is also believed that during these hours, one's spiritual sensitivity is heightened, making it an opportune time to receive divine revelations, guidance, and inspiration. Moreover, the 3 a.m. phenomenon is seen as a time of spiritual warfare. According to Christian beliefs, this is a time when the forces of good and evil are in intense conflict. Therefore, waking up to pray during these hours is considered a powerful act of spiritual warfare, a means to resist temptation and evil. The 3 a.m. phenomenon symbolizes resurrection and new beginnings as well. In the Bible, the resurrection of Jesus Christ is recorded as having occurred early in the morning. This association infuses the early morning hours with a sense of hope, renewal, and spiritual rebirth. In conclusion, the 3 a.m. phenomenon is a spiritually potent time, rich in symbolism and significance. It's a time of divine intervention, spiritual awakening, deep contemplation, and powerful prayer. It's a time when the spiritual realm is believed to be particularly active, offering believers the opportunity to deepen their relationship with God, receive divine revelations, and engage in spiritual warfare. The 3 a.m. phenomenon is more than just a time. It is a spiritual event that brings us closer to our faith. Whether you're an early riser or someone who wakes up specifically for this purpose, the 3 a.m. phenomenon invites us all to delve deeper into our spiritual journey, fostering a stronger connection with the divine. The 3 a.m. phenomenon is not only spiritually significant, but it also has practical applications that can enhance our daily lives. These words lay the foundation of our journey into the unique exploration of this spiritual practice. It invites us into a deeper understanding of the benefits of rising early and utilizing the quietness of the early hours for personal growth and spiritual development. You might be asking, what is so practical about waking up at a time when most people are sound asleep? Asleep? The answer lies in the tranquility of the early hours, a tranquility that provides a unique space for solitude and reflection. At 3 a.m., the world is at its absolute quietest, offering an opportunity to connect with your inner self. This connection is often lost in the hustle and bustle of the day with noise and distractions. One of the many practical applications of the 3 a.m. phenomenon is the enhancement of focus and mental clarity. During these early hours, your mind is far from the clutter of the day's concerns, allowing for more productive and focused thinking. It's a time when you can sit in silence, plan your day ahead in detail, set personal or professional goals, or even tackle problems that have been lingering in your mind unresolved. This level of focus and clarity can be a potent tool in personal growth and achieving success in various aspects of life. In addition, The 3 a.m. phenomenon offers an ideal platform for development. It's a time when you can engage in uninterrupted prayer, meditation, or the reading of scriptures without distractions. This uninterrupted communion with the divine can lead to a deeper comprehension of your faith and a stronger bond with a higher power. Peace and solitude of these early hours provide a spiritual sanctuary, allowing you to delve deeper into your spiritual journey. Moreover, the practice of waking up at 3 a.m. serves as an avenue for instilling discipline and resilience. Breaking the comfort of sleep to rise at an unconventional hour is no easy task. However, consistently doing so can strengthen your willpower and determination, traits that are beneficial in all areas of life. It demands a level of self-discipline that extends beyond the norm, fostering resilience in other areas of life beyond just the early morning hours. You might be wondering, this sounds beneficial, but how do I this into my routine? The key is to start incrementally. You could begin waking up 15 minutes earlier than your usual time, then adjust progressively until you reach the 3 a.m. mark. Make sure to adjust your bedtime accordingly to allow for sufficient rest. The objective is not to deprive yourself of sleep, but to optimize the hours you spend awake. It's also essential to have a clear purpose for waking up at this hour. Whether it's for prayer, meditation, goal setting, or problem solving, having a clear goal can provide the motivation you need to rise at 3 a.m. This intentional approach to the early hours can make all the difference in ensuring you utilize this time effectively. Remember, the 3 a.m. phenomenon is about optimizing your waking hours to connect with yourself and your faith in a deeper, more meaningful way. It's a practice that seeks to elevate your spiritual life while also positively impacting your personal growth and success. So we've established that the phenomenon can be a powerful tool for personal growth and spiritual development. It can enhance focus, instill discipline, and a unique platform for spiritual communion. However, like any practice, it requires commitment and consistency to yield tangible results. Integrating the 3 a.m. phenomenon into your daily routine can be a transformative experience. It's a practice that not only enriches your spiritual life, but also positively impacts your personal growth and success. Just imagine, while the world is still asleep, you are awake, setting goals, solving problems, and connecting with your faith. It's a head start that can set the tone for the rest of your day, a tone of focus, clarity, and spiritual connectedness. So why not give it a try? Embrace the silence of the early hours, engage with your inner self, and connect with the divine. You might be surprised at the profound impact it can have on your life. Integrating the 3 a.m. phenomenon into our daily routine can lead to spiritual growth and a deeper understanding of our faith. And this is not all. It can foster personal growth, resilience, and success. The 3 a.m. phenomenon is a practice that offers both spiritual and practical benefits, a testament to the wisdom significance of this practice. So let's embrace these early hours. Let's embrace the 3 a.m. phenomenon. For in the quiet of the morning, we find clarity, connection, and growth. The 3 a.m. phenomenon is a captivating component of Christian spirituality that combines history, spirituality, and practicality. It is a sacred tradition that has been carried forward through centuries, and it continues to resonate with millions of believers around the world. But what exactly is the 3 a.m. phenomenon? And why is it such an integral part of Christian spirituality? The 3 a.m. phenomenon refers to the belief that the early hours of the morning, specifically around 3 a.m., is a time of heightened spiritual activity and connection with the divine. The origins of this belief can be traced back to the early centuries of Christianity, when the hours before dawn were recognized as a time of deep spiritual connection and practice. In our journey today, we've delved deep into the origins and significance of the 3 a.m. phenomenon. We've journeyed back in time to the early Christian era, understanding how believers perceived the early morning hours as a sacred time for prayer and meditation. This historical context provides us with a profound appreciation for the 3 a.m. phenomenon and its value as a spiritual tradition. The 3 a.m. phenomenon isn't just a historical fact, it is steeped in spiritual significance. We learned that these pre-dawn hours are considered a time when the barrier between our earthly existence and the divine realm is at its thinnest. This allows for a unique opportunity to connect with God, making the 3 a.m. phenomenon not just a time-specific event, but a deeply meaningful spiritual ritual. But the 3 a.m. phenomenon isn't merely about history and spirituality, it also has practical implications. We discussed how one can incorporate this practice into daily life, making it a part of their everyday routine. It's not just about waking up at 3 a.m., but about using that serene hour for introspection, prayer, spiritual growth. We explored how this practice can bring peace, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose. When you wake up during the quiet hours of the morning, you give yourself an opportunity to reflect, meditate, and connect with your spirituality. This not only enhances your spiritual journey, but also brings a sense of calm and positivity to your life. At its core, the 3 a.m. phenomenon is a personal journey. This journey is unique to each individual, shaped by their faith, beliefs, and personal spiritual experiences. It's a path that begins in the tranquil darkness of the early morning and leads towards the light of spiritual awakening. Your experience with the phenomenon will be completely unique to you. There's no predefined way to approach it, just your personal path. And that's the beauty of this journey, it's completely yours. As we conclude this journey today, I encourage you to continue exploring the 3 a.m. phenomenon. Immerse yourself in its history, delve into its spirituality, and integrate its practice into your daily life. Allow it to guide you on your spiritual journey, shaping your faith and your connection with the divine. Remember, the 3 a.m. phenomenon isn't solely about waking up early. It's about awakening to a deeper understanding of yourself, your faith, and your relationship with God. It's about elevating your spirit, enriching your faith, and embracing a journey of spiritual growth. Thank you for joining us on this spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe and join our community for more enlightening content.